Hi Scorpio, here is a general look at your solar chart for November 2016 and happy birthday. I hope you have a good one. Now, okay, so obviously the sun is in your sign until the 22nd. It's a good, powerful time for you to be a bit self-indulgent, to think more along the lines of what's nearest to your heart and what you'd like to achieve, and feeling the empowerment of that. And until the 13th, Mercury is also in your sign, so you've got maybe a lot on your mind. You might be feeling a bit scattered, but you're very much in the stream of information exchange, sourcing information, and maybe consulting or being the consultant. But also at this time, perhaps there's more paperwork, that kind of thing, more things to get your head around. And that's up until the 13th. And then on the 13th, Mercury moves, leaving the sun in your sign, and then goes into an area to do with the material side of life, the piggy bank, food on the table, roof over the head, basic resources, stuff, really, and plans, conversations, paperwork may focus on this side of life, looking for practical ways of getting organized, helping keeping the piggy bank's tummy full, or capitalizing on an asset or a resource, or acquiring an asset or a resource along those lines there. Now that's going to be there for the rest of the month, and then also running parallel with that, we're going to have, actually no, just before that, we've got Venus in that area there, and I noticed something else. So what was that? We've got Venus in that area there, and oh yeah, that's going along with Saturn as well. So what you're doing in this area here, buying, selling, renting, leasing, anything like that, or indeed anything else that doesn't involve actual money, but is still a resource, like an asset that you can use and maximize your chances with. So whatever that might mean, you know, just like turning up for a date looking stunning, or buying a tool or a piece of kit that's going to really help you to climb the ladder of success. I mean, whatever it is. Now, Venus is in that area in the first part of the month. So we've got the Sun and Mercury in your sign, but we've also got Venus in the area concerning money, property, possessions, basic stuff, resources of various kinds. And the tendency would be to be able to, if you play your card right, the Venus card and all the other cards, of course, because this is just the Sun sign I'm doing here, you could find that there's things, you know, in the pipeline coming towards you, and you could even get a good deal. But you mustn't, be too self-indulgent either, because that can happen with Venus there. However, when Venus moves, that's a good time for negotiation, and that's from the 12th. Although, having said that, the whole month, with such strong Mercury around, would be, if you are in that sort of situation, a good time for negotiation. So now at the on the 23rd to the 25th, we got Saturn and Mercury degrees coming together. So that could mean more on your mind, more on your plate, more responsibilities related to routines, mental and or physical, more need to keep your eye on the ball. Running parallel with that, I'm happy to say, there is some Jupiter connecting up with Saturn in a very good way. So that can mean that even though you've got to really concentrate and focus in and onto something or other, it's leading to growth and expansion in your life. So you might have to be patient, more disciplined, jump through a couple of hoops, but it can lead to future growth and expansion in your life. And Also at this time, another way this can work as an important expert or teacher or teaching can be coming your way, or indeed turn that around and you can be seen as the expert or the teacher or the guide for another. Right. Now, I was talking about Venus in this area concerning money, so it can open up the path between you and goodies, right? And then Venus moves and goes into this other area here. Anywhere Venus goes, there's a feeling of connection, of sharing, of teaming up, that kind of thing. So in this area of communication, she can help you to be very articulate, even persuasive in your expression. Also, it's great for anything artistic with Venus here. And some of you could be in exchanges with others who appreciate your style. So again, this could work in your favor in a negotiating type situation, buying, selling, renting, leasing, but also promotional activity, media activity, art activity, and anything to do with settling a feud could be helped by this position of Venus here from the 12th. And also just environments which are more pleasing, more entertaining, that kind of thing, and connecting you up with siblings in a good way as well. Now, in the last week of the month, there will be some more intensity perhaps in relationships, or deeper questioning related to a relationship, or regarding joint or shared money or property, a kind of an inner pressure. And could be that somebody or something is bugging you, and you have to be careful not to be mistaking your inner story onto them. That's always it's a tricky area, but it's always a danger. And we have Mars in your communication sector up until the 9th. So this feeling of being in the information exchange, moving around more, maybe mental processes firing up, accelerating, the paperwork thing, just having to cover your bases really mentally, and might be feeling a bit scattered. You can feel that certain others are too impatient or over assertive, or being unreasonable, whatever it is, but don't try and waste too much energy on analysing that. Just try to keep things on an even keel and take the decision, because you tend to get the clarity now, if there's been a lack of clarity before. And then Mars moves on the 9th and goes into the root of your chart. This means that you could be busier than usual because of a location or an HQ, or within a location and an HQ. So it could be within a property, or because of a property, or indeed both. It could also not be like that. It could be like because of family matters, a space, and getting organized there. There could be more physical demand on you because of what's going on really very much right in your own backyard. And again, this decisiveness and assertiveness will be needed, but you'll be feeling a little bit tenser, more sensitive at times. Skeletons could be rattling in the closet, something to do with the past scenario or past actions come now into the present. And some of you could be having more to do with parents, or in-laws at this time as well. From the 22nd, finances, goods, properties, property, or anything else related to that material side of life, the piggy bank, but also your own abilities could have more of your attention, but key themes will be centered around stuff, the financial side of life, incomings, outgoings, etc., as well as actual physical objects. Now, Saturn is has launched you into a 2-year cycle of more concentrated work regarding this materialistic sort of material side of life, material security. And given that Pluto is right down at the root of your chart, there can be, given that Pluto is in your third house, your values will probably be changing, or rather your outlook will probably have been changing over the many years that Pluto's been in this area here. So Saturn is in this cycle of getting you to work harder to get organized with the material side of life, or if it's not like that, your own talents, and how to sharpen those talents up into a lucrative skill and really start to run with that, you know, doing all the necessaries to get yourself get yourself known and seen as reputable, etc. So it can also be to do with making the most of resources around you, like vegetables or fruits, or, you know, herbs on the windowsill, or I mean, doing up properties. That's a major thing with Scorpio. That's something that your sign would rule, you know. So anything along those lines, and don't take your eye off the ball. Remember that Saturn is the great builder, so nothing happens fast with the position of Saturn. And for you, she's in this area here until the end of 2017. However, she will stand you in good stead if you work with her in this patient, disciplined, consistent, tenacious way. Then what you achieve under a transit of Saturn will last a lifetime. This is what I've observed anyway, and sometimes you'll feel challenged, but slowly this more comfortable reality, this more recognizable shape will evolve in your life, and you will feel, you would have every right to feel proud of yourself for having achieved that. You Scorpios born the 5th to the 10th of November, or with 13 to 18 degrees rising, going to feel that energy the most at the moment. And then Jupiter is in the sign before yours, so sort of poised to come back finally into your sign after 11 years it'll be now, but it'll be 12 by the time Jupiter gets into your sign. And this is a good time for quietly developing projects behind the scenes, getting to know your stuff, getting your act together, whatever it is. Also drawing a line under the past, tying up loose ends, and also learning how to be an effective support for another or others, so that, you know, you're not doing it for any self-gratification. You really are being genuine and putting your own desires on one side, and just being there because somebody is needed and you happen to be there. And also another way this can work is that you are learning a lot and growing a lot through self-inquiry, self-therapy, but also working within a bubble of a circle or a group of some kind, and you as a service provider, or you all as service providers. So that's another thing you can be doing. Imaginative work, healing and spiritual work, big time with this one here. And this is where you grow the most. This is how you grow the most until Jupiter comes into your sign next year in October. Now, you Scorpios born the 2nd to the 10th of November, or with 10 to 18 degrees rising, you're going to feel that energy the most over this forecast period. And that's it for November. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those, and also you can check out some of this material on DianaGarland.com, and I will see you the next time.